the defensive linemen who try to stay low when they're rushing. But overall, he's a great prospect, and I think the Dolphins would be getting a great guy at 19. Because they need somebody after that fiasco with.
Yeah. Would you have him more as a tackle or an offensive guard?
I think NFL teams would probably want him at the guard position because of his size. I would think he would be more suited to play the tackle position since that's what he's played his entire career. But he at offensive guard, he would be a great selection. So Cardinals at 20. This is an interesting pick. There have been a lot.
Yes, I saw your interesting pick. Keep going.
There's been a lot of talk about quarterbacks at 20 because Carson Palmer getting into the latter part of his career. I do think they go quarterback here, and I think they take the next best quarterback in the draft, and I think they take Derek Carr, who's been one of my favorite quarterbacks since the beginning of the draft.
Yeah. As weird as it may sound coming from a Texans fan, I actually like Derek Carr a lot. I think...
Yeah, that takes a lot of guts to say.
Yes, sorry, Texans fans, I'm sorry. But I like... he can throw deep. I like him on the deep pass. And I think he's a lot smarter than most people think he is.
His game against San Jose State, granted, San Jose State is not the best defense in the nation. That game was impressive. I watched him and David Fales go head-to-head.
Yeah.
That was one of the best quarterback games I'd seen all year in college.
Yes.
Seeing them go back and forth. David Fales is actually my sixth-rated quarterback. I actually love him. He's been one of my favorite quarterbacks since last year. But Derek Carr outperformed him in that game. Although David Fales passed for more, Derek Carr made the right choices and had better decision-making than Fales and led his team to a victory, which is always a plus.
And I interviewed Chandler Jones, and I think he said that was his favorite game. Of course, that was an awesome game.
That has to be that game was incredible.
Yeah.
So
21.
Packers at 21.
Woo.
This is a hard choice.
Let's see what we got. Well, I want to go with C.J. Mosley.
A lot of parallels to my lock in here. I like it.
C.J. Mosley. I was actually watching him today a little bit, and big, long, and he can range. He can tackle anyone, I think. Very good range, very good speed, good in coverage. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
What do you see?
There's like the stuff about Alabama destroying their people through their vigorous training. C.J. Mosley's still a first-round pick. There's no doubt.
What scheme would you say he would be best fit in?
I'd still say 4-3 probably. He can drop back in coverage. Him alongside, at Alabama, him alongside Adrian Hubbard. Hubbard actually could be a late-round steal, although most people aren't really high on him. Mosley would be a great pick here. Probably 4-3 would be his best fit because he can get back in coverage and rush, but he would fit with the Packers perfectly.
Up next, we have the Eagles.
All right, so...
Interesting.
Yeah, this is basically the tale of two different receivers. You got Brandon Cooks and you got Marquise Lee. You could have Marquise Lee who torched Chip Kelly at Oregon, or you can have the speedy Brandon Cooks to replace Deshaun Jackson. I've had Brandon Cooks going there for the past 2 or 3 months, and I'm not going back on it. So I'm going to have Cooks going to the Eagles here at 22. He hasn't had a mediocre rise. He's actually, right after the Combine, he soared up draft boards. Everybody underestimated him. Even I underestimated him. He would be a great pick for the Eagles at 22. And surprisingly, through 22 picks, there have only been 4 wide receivers taken, which I find very intriguing. Because when I watch the Piper and McShay mock on ESPN, there was, I think, 9 receivers taken in the first round, which I found, they went on a ridiculous streak of like 4 wide receivers straight taken, but there's a potential to have at least 8 or 9 receivers taken in the first round.
And there's so many wide receivers. I don't know why you would really go to the first round. You can pick up someone maybe somewhat like him in like the next few rounds. There's so many wide receivers in this draft.
Yeah, so wide receiver class is really deep. I mean, they could go, I guess, they could go safety with Jimmy Ward. They could go linebacker, although it's kind of they would kind of be reaching here. They could go Kyle Van Noy, Ryan Shazier, but I feel like Brandon Cooks would be a great pick for them. Do you have anything else to say on this one?
Well, you said you liked Marquise Lee over Brandon Cooks, didn't you?
Yes, I did say that. I said that I feel like Chip Kelly could pick Marquise Lee over him, but I think Cooks is the better prospect than Marquise Lee.
So we got Chiefs here. Chiefs, I had selecting Brandon Cooks. He stole that one.
Sorry about that.
Chiefs. I'm not too much of a Chiefs fan. What do you think? What would you say would be their needs, really?
I'd say wide receiver mainly. They need to help out Alex Smith. I guess maybe something in the defensive front seven, like linebacker or defensive line. So I feel like they'd be kind of reaching for somebody if they want to go defense. And there's just a bunch of wide receivers in this draft, so I feel like they would probably go receiver here.
It's kind of crazy so far. A guy that we said, Eric Ebron, could be picked by the Giants, hasn't even been picked yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Marquise Lee on this one.
I can see that.
I mean, I'm not too high on Marquise Lee. I mean, he's had a bunch of injuries, of course. And he has had multiple quarterbacks there. Not the greatest speed, I wouldn't say. But I mean, I would take a chance on him. I mean, he has great hands, so I would take a chance on him at number 23 for the Chiefs.
Right. All right. So Bengals at 24. I actually had Anthony Barr going here. I have a feeling that they probably need to go something in the defensive backfield, either cornerback or safety. I think they would be deciding between Jason Verrett and Jimmy Ward, and I believe that they'll take Verrett at 24. He's kind of like Darqueze Dennard in the way that he plays. He's not the biggest corner. He's, I think, 5'9", and like 190, 200 pounds. But he would be I think he'd be a great choice for the Bengals secondary. They're already pretty good secondary.
And you have Jason Verrett over Kyle Fuller?
I do. I've watched Kyle Fuller play against UVA this past year, and I was not particularly impressed with him, to be honest. He did not blow me away like I thought he would. I thought, of course, at the time, he wasn't like a top-flight cornerback, but I mean, he could have blown me away when I was there, but I wasn't that impressed with him. I think he's my 5th or 6th rated cornerback behind Bradley Roby, and him and Pierre Desir are kind of in the same area for me.
Okay, up next we got the Chargers. They would need like a cornerback, wide receiver to go complement Keenan Allen. We were saying I could go Kyle Fuller on this one, but woo, where should I go? Let's go Kyle Fuller. I'll go him.
All right.
Like you said, he didn't impress you as much, but I mean, I've heard he's great. So, and I'm not the craziest Virginia Tech fan, also living here, but we'll go with him.
Yeah. All right, so Browns at 26.
Yep.
One quarterback earlier with Blake Bortles. Got to have somebody to go on with him. For me, it comes down to three receivers: Allen Robinson, Cody Latimer, and Kelvin Benjamin. Robinson and Latimer, I both had second round grades on, and I have Benjamin as a first round grade. Although he's been called sluggish and not really the fastest guy, he's 6'5".
Yeah, size. Yeah.
He's massive, and you can't pass up on somebody like that.
How big is Allen Robinson?
I would go Benjamin at 26. What were you gonna say?
I said, how big is Allen Robinson? I mean,
he's 6'2" or 6'3", I think, and Cody Latimer is like 6'2" or around there. So, I would have Kelvin Benjamin over both of them. I think Kelvin Benjamin's my 5th rated receiver, so he's one of my 5 receivers that got first round grades for me. So Saints at 27.
Okay, the Saints, they could go wide receiver, of course. They could go cornerback, but I wouldn't go cornerback. They can go offensive lineman. Yeah, I'll go, let's see, what do we have, Saints? I mean, I'm still, Eric Ebron has not been picked yet. That's still just...
That is surprising to me.
Where would we take him there?
I mean, the bottom half of the draft.
I mean, we're about to go to the Patriots. I mean, they wouldn't mind in there.
Patriots potentially, but if Ebron fell past the Jets at 18, some team would have to trade up to get him. There's some team. I feel like the Cardinals at 20 would be a great trading partner. Bengals, if they don't get if Verrett or the top wide receivers are gone, could be a great trading partner at 24. Like I said earlier, Ebron to the Giants, that could happen. I just feel like they needed something on the defense more. Eli's got a lot of weapons there. So I feel like the 20 to 25 range would be a good trading range for Eric Ebron if you fell past the Jets.
Okay, well, at number 27 for the Saints, give me Ryan Shazier.
Interesting.
Yes, very.
Actually, I think well, are you going for Shazier as like a rusher or somebody who would drop back in coverage more?
Rusher. I would go rusher on that one, an edge rusher.
Gotcha. See, for rusher, I would have Van Noy over Shazier, but I can see Shazier as a good rusher. He's a good player at Ohio State. Ohio State always produces great linebackers. Of course, one of my favorites, James Laurinaitis. So.
And also on Van Noy, I've seen him going late first round, early second. I like him too, but I would go Ryan Shazier over him.
I can see that. All right, so Panthers at 28.
Ooh.
This is a hard choice for me because Morgan Moses fallen right to the Panthers. They need offensive linemen. Seems like everybody on their team's retiring or leaving them. Cody Latimer is still there, who would be a great fit in their offensive scheme. But I got to go my man Morgan Moses here. He would be a great selection for the Panthers. Big body, impressed at the Senior Bowl. Basically everything he's gone to, he's impressed. So, I mean, I guess the Panthers would be thrilled to have him at 28.
Most people have wide receiver for the Panthers. I could see that. I could see a little Devontae Adams maybe.